Ladies and gentlemen, imagine waking up tomorrow with an unshakable belief in yourself. No self-doubt, no hesitation, just pure, unstoppable confidence. But what if I told you that in just 9 days, you could build the kind of confidence that not only changes how you see the world, but how the world sees you? It sounds almost too good to be true, right? The truth is, most people spend their entire lives searching for that one magic key to confidence, but they never find it. What if the secret isn't some grand revelation or a lifetime of trying? What if it's just a matter of knowing the right steps and following through with discipline and intention? Stick with me as I take you through a journey where fear is confronted, excitement is sparked, and a newfound power emerges from within. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly how to go from hesitant to unstoppable in less than 2 weeks. Stay tuned, because this isn't just another inspirational speech. This is the first day of the rest of your life. Let's get started. Self-doubt is one of the most paralyzing emotions we experience as human beings. It's that nagging voice in the back of your mind that says, "You're not good enough," or "You'll never succeed." It creeps in when you're about to take a big step forward, making you second-guess your abilities, your decisions, and even your worth. But here's the truth. Self-doubt is not a reflection of who you are. It's a manifestation of fear and uncertainty. Overcoming self-doubt isn't about waiting for it to disappear. It's about learning how to confront and silence that inner critic. The first step in overcoming self-doubt is recognizing it for what it truly is: a defense mechanism designed to keep us in our comfort zones. It's easy to believe that doubt comes from a place of rational thought, but in reality, it's often based on past experiences, societal pressures, or even the fear of judgment. The root of self-doubt lies in our fear of failure, rejection, or simply not measuring up to an idealized version of success. We compare ourselves to others, to standards that may not even align with our values or aspirations. The more we focus on these comparisons, the louder the voice of doubt becomes. To silence this voice, you need to confront it head-on. It's not enough to just ignore the doubts. You must address them directly. Start by questioning the validity of those doubts. Ask yourself, where is this doubt coming from? Is it based on fact or fear? Am I measuring myself against an unrealistic expectation? Often, when we take the time to break down the thoughts fueling our self-doubt, we realize they are not based on truth, but on irrational fears that hold no power over us unless we give them permission. Another powerful tool in overcoming self-doubt is reframing your mindset. Instead of seeing self-doubt as an obstacle, view it as an opportunity for growth. Every time you feel that twinge of doubt, remind yourself that it's a sign that you're pushing beyond your limits, that you're about to do something that matters. Doubt shows up when you're on the verge of growth, when you're challenging yourself in ways that are unfamiliar or uncomfortable. It's the signal that you are evolving, and with every step forward, you build more resilience against it. One of the most effective ways to diminish self-doubt is through consistent action. It's easy to get caught in a cycle of overthinking, especially when you're uncertain of your abilities. But overthinking often magnifies doubt, making it harder to move forward. Instead, focus on taking small, manageable steps toward your goal. Even when you feel unsure, commit to action. Whether it's sending an email, making a phone call, or starting a task you've been avoiding, each small act of courage chips away at the power of doubt. The more you act, the less space self-doubt has to grow. As you continue to take action, start building a record of past successes. Reflect on the times you have triumphed despite feeling uncertain or inadequate. Every achievement, big or small, serves as evidence that you are capable of more than you may realize. Look back at challenges you've overcome, moments where you've succeeded in the face of fear. This process of reviewing your wins serves as a powerful reminder that you've already proven to yourself that you are capable, resilient, and resourceful. It's also crucial to surround yourself with a supportive environment. The people you interact with play a significant role in shaping your beliefs about yourself. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity or people who fuel your doubts, it becomes harder to break free from that cycle. Seek out mentors, friends, or communities that uplift you, that believe in your potential even when you don't. Their support can act as a counterbalance to the self-doubt that might creep in. When you're feeling unsure, they'll remind you of your strengths and help you refocus on your goals. Another aspect of overcoming self-doubt is learning to be kind to yourself. Self-doubt thrives when we are overly critical of ourselves. We often focus on our flaws or mistakes, magnifying them until they become the center of our attention. But the truth is, no one is perfect. Everyone has weaknesses, and everyone experiences setbacks. The key is not to let those moments define you. Instead, treat yourself with the same compassion and understanding that you would offer a friend. When you make a mistake, don't berate yourself, acknowledge it, learn from it, and move forward. This approach prevents self-doubt from becoming a cycle of self-criticism. Overcoming self-doubt is also about cultivating self-belief. Believing in yourself doesn't mean that you won't experience moments of doubt. It means that when doubt arises, you choose to trust in your ability to move through it. It's about knowing that you have the skills, the resilience, and the determination to face challenges head-on. Build your confidence by focusing on your strengths, your past successes, and your growth potential. When you truly believe in your ability to handle whatever comes your way, self-doubt loses its grip on you. Lastly, understand that overcoming self-doubt is a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. There will be times when it feels overwhelming, when the voice of doubt feels louder than ever. But the key is persistence. With every step you take, with every challenge you overcome, you silence that voice just a little more. Self-doubt may never disappear completely, but as you grow, you will find that it has less power over you. Confidence is not the absence of doubt, it's the willingness to move forward in spite of it. And in the end, the more you face your doubts and take action, the more unstoppable you become. Positive affirmations are more than just empty words or feel-good statements. They are powerful tools that can transform the way we think, feel, and ultimately live our lives. At their core, affirmations are statements that reinforce beliefs or truths we want to internalize about ourselves. Whether you're trying to build confidence, overcome challenges, or manifest your goals, the power of positive affirmations lies in their ability to rewire your mind and shift your focus from negativity to possibility. We all have an internal dialogue, those thoughts that constantly run through our minds, often without our conscious awareness. These thoughts are incredibly influential in shaping our emotional and psychological state. For many people, this inner dialogue tends to be negative, filled with doubts, criticisms, and limiting beliefs. We often tell ourselves things like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "I'm not capable of achieving this." Over time, these negative thoughts become ingrained in our psyche, affecting our self-esteem, confidence, and overall outlook on life. This is where positive affirmations come in. Positive affirmations serve as a counterbalance to the negativity that can flood our minds. By consciously choosing to replace self-limiting thoughts with positive, empowering statements, we can slowly but surely shift the way we think about ourselves and our potential. The key to affirmations is repetition. By repeating positive statements consistently, we train our brains to adopt these new, more empowering beliefs. This process is known as neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and form new neural connections based on repeated experiences. Just as a muscle grows stronger with exercise, your brain becomes conditioned to believe the positive affirmations you feed it. One of the most powerful aspects of affirmations is their ability to increase self-awareness. When we affirm something positive about ourselves, we're not just repeating words, we're taking a moment to pause and reflect on what we truly believe to be true about ourselves. This reflection forces us to examine whether our current thoughts and beliefs are aligned with who we want to be and what we want to achieve. If they're not, affirmations act as a tool to realign our mindset with our goals, helping us shift from a place of doubt or uncertainty to one of belief and purpose. The power of positive affirmations is also deeply connected to the concept of self-empowerment. When we affirm our worth, our abilities, and our potential, we are taking ownership of our own lives. Instead of waiting for external validation or approval, we begin to validate ourselves from within. This self-validation is incredibly liberating. It removes the need for constant reassurance from others and allows us to take full responsibility for our own growth and success. When you affirm your capabilities, you not only believe that you can accomplish your goals, but you also begin to take the necessary actions to make them a reality. Affirmations can also play a crucial role in boosting your resilience. Life is full of challenges, and it's easy to feel discouraged when things aren't going according to plan. During these times, positive affirmations can serve as a source of inner strength. They remind us that we have the power to persevere, that setbacks are not permanent, and that we are more than capable of overcoming obstacles. By regularly affirming our strength, determination, and ability to handle adversity, we can build the mental toughness needed to face life's challenges head-on. Another significant benefit of positive affirmations is their ability to foster a sense of gratitude. When we repeat affirmations focused on our blessings, achievements, and the things we are grateful for, we begin to shift our focus away from what's lacking in our lives. This practice of gratitude helps us cultivate a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. By affirming the positive aspects of our lives, we begin to attract more of the same. It's like tuning into a positive frequency. When you focus on the good, you start to notice more of the good around you. Affirmations are also incredibly effective in enhancing our relationships with others. When we affirm our value and self-worth, we show up in our relationships as confident, self-assured individuals. This confidence radiates outward and can have a positive impact on how others perceive and interact with us. Moreover, by affirming kindness, patience, and understanding, we can become more compassionate and empathetic, which strengthens our connections with those around us. It's important to remember that for affirmations to be truly effective, they need to be personalized and meaningful. Generic affirmations may not resonate with everyone. Instead, it's crucial to tailor your affirmations to your unique goals, desires, and challenges. For example, instead of saying, "I am confident," you might say, "I am becoming more confident every day, and I trust in my ability to succeed." The more specific and aligned your affirmations are with your personal journey, the more power they will have. Additionally, while affirmations are incredibly powerful, they must be coupled with action. Simply repeating positive statements without taking the necessary steps toward your goals will not yield results. Affirmations work best when paired with focused, deliberate action. As you repeat your affirmations, take aligned steps toward your goals, and watch as your thoughts and actions begin to create the reality you desire. Finally, it's important to approach affirmations with patience and consistency. Change doesn't happen overnight, and it takes time for your mind to fully adopt new beliefs. But with consistent practice, positive affirmations can become a natural part of your daily routine, and over time, you will notice significant shifts in your mindset, emotions, and behaviors. Remember, the more you affirm your potential, the more you will begin to embody it, creating a life filled with confidence, success, and fulfillment. Taking action despite fear is one of the most powerful ways to transform your life. Fear, in its many forms, often acts as a barrier between where you are and where you want to be. It's the voice that tells you not to try, the feeling that convinces you to stay safe, the paralysis that comes with the unknown. But what if I told you that fear is not the problem? In fact, fear can be a sign that you are about to do something significant, something that pushes you out of your comfort zone and into growth. It's not the absence of fear that leads to success, it's the courage to act despite it. Fear is a natural, instinctual response designed to protect us. It's hardwired into our brains to keep us safe, alerting us to potential dangers or threats. But in today's world, much of the fear we experience is not related to physical danger. Instead, it's tied to the uncertainty and discomfort that comes with pursuing new goals, trying new things, or stepping into unfamiliar situations. We fear failure, rejection, embarrassment, and making mistakes. However, the truth is that these fears are often far greater in our minds than they are in reality. The fear of failure may seem overwhelming, but the more we allow it to control us, the more it keeps us stuck in a cycle of inaction. Taking action despite fear requires a shift in perspective. Rather than seeing fear as a roadblock, you need to view it as a signal that you are on the verge of growth. When you feel fear rising, it's usually a sign that you are about to do something that will push you beyond your current limits. This is the point where most people stop. They see the fear and they retreat. But the people who achieve extraordinary things are the ones who take action in the face of fear. They don't wait for fear to disappear, they move forward despite it. One of the keys to taking action despite fear is understanding that fear doesn't have to be eliminated in order for you to move forward. In fact, you don't need to wait until you feel confident, comfortable, or completely ready to act. The truth is, you will never feel entirely ready. There will always be some level of fear, doubt, or uncertainty. Success isn't about waiting for the fear to go away. It's about taking the first step anyway. When you act in the face of fear, you break the cycle of paralysis and gain momentum. Each small action you take builds your confidence and reduces the power of fear. Another important factor in taking action despite fear is realizing that failure is not the end, it's part of the process. Fear often arises from a deep-seated belief that failure is catastrophic. We fear the judgment of others, the damage to our reputation, or the pain of disappointment. But the reality is that failure is not the end of the road, it's simply feedback. Every time you fail, you gain valuable lessons and insights that bring you one step closer to success. The most successful people in the world have failed countless times, but their ability to take action despite failure is what sets them apart. When you embrace failure as a natural part of the journey, it loses its power to hold you back. Fear can also be paralyzing when we focus too much on the future. When you think about the outcome of your actions, the what-ifs, it can feel overwhelming. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? These questions create a mental spiral that prevents you from taking any action at all. The key is to focus on the present moment and take one small step at a time. Don't worry about the entire journey ahead, just focus on the next step in front of you. This simple shift in focus helps to break the cycle of fear and inaction. One technique that can help you take action despite fear is to reframe the situation. Instead of focusing on the potential negative outcomes, ask yourself, what's the best that could happen? This positive shift in mindset helps you see the opportunities instead of the risks. It reminds you that action has the potential to lead to growth, success, and new possibilities. By visualizing success and focusing on the positive outcomes of your actions, you can reduce the grip that fear has on you. Another powerful way to take action despite fear is to build a support system. Surrounding yourself with people who encourage, believe in, and support you can make a significant difference in overcoming fear. When you're facing a challenge, having someone to cheer you on or offer guidance can help you push through your doubts. These people can serve as reminders that you are not alone in your journey and that fear is something we all experience. A strong support network provides not only accountability, but also a sense of community that makes taking action less daunting. Taking action despite fear also requires a deep belief in yourself and your abilities. Fear often arises from a lack of self-confidence or the belief that we are not capable of handling challenges. But the truth is that you are more capable than you realize. You have the skills, resources, and resilience to face whatever comes your way. When you trust in yourself and your ability to navigate obstacles, fear has less power to hold you back. It's important to remind yourself that you have already overcome challenges in the past, and you will do so again. Building confidence through past successes helps you see that you are capable of taking action even when fear is present. Ultimately, taking action despite fear is about developing resilience, the ability to keep moving forward despite setbacks, obstacles, and uncertainties. It's about building mental strength and trust in yourself, knowing that every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. Fear will always be a part of the process, but it doesn't have to control you. The more you act in spite of fear, the more confident and unstoppable you become. Each time you take action, you strengthen your ability to handle fear and move beyond it. Celebrating small wins is one of the most important practices for building long-term success and maintaining motivation, yet it is often overlooked. Many people believe that only big achievements are worthy of celebration, like landing a major promotion, closing a significant deal, or completing a large project. While these milestones are certainly important, the truth is that success is made up of countless small victories that often go unnoticed. By recognizing and celebrating these smaller wins, you not only build momentum, but also reinforce the behaviors and actions that will lead to larger accomplishments. It's the little steps that eventually create the big leap. At the core of celebrating small wins is the principle of positive reinforcement. When we acknowledge and celebrate our progress, we're essentially rewarding ourselves for the effort and steps we've taken toward a goal. This reinforcement encourages us to keep going, even when the road ahead seems long or challenging. Often we get so focused on the end goal that we fail to recognize how much progress we've made along the way. Celebrating small wins serves as a reminder that every effort counts, and that the journey itself is just as important as the destination. One of the reasons small wins matter so much is that they help to maintain momentum. Motivation is a powerful force, but it's not always easy to maintain, especially when you're faced with setbacks or obstacles. When you're working toward a long-term goal, the distance between where you are and where you want to be can feel overwhelming. It's easy to get discouraged when progress seems slow or when you're not seeing immediate results. But small wins act as a way to measure progress, keeping you motivated and focused. Each time you celebrate a small victory, you reinforce the idea that you are moving forward, which fuels your desire to keep going. Another reason celebrating small wins is crucial is that it helps build a sense of self-worth and confidence. Many people struggle with imposter syndrome or feelings of inadequacy, believing they're not capable of achieving their goals or that their efforts aren't enough. By acknowledging and celebrating small wins, you remind yourself that you are capable, competent, and deserving of success. This reinforces your self-belief and encourages you to take on new challenges. When you celebrate small victories, you start to see yourself as someone who is capable of making progress, even when things aren't perfect. Over time, this builds a positive self-image and strengthens your ability to face future challenges. Small wins also create a sense of joy and fulfillment along the way. Success is not just about achieving the final goal, it's about enjoying the process and finding meaning in the effort. If you're only focused on the end result, you may find yourself feeling empty or dissatisfied once you reach your destination. But when you take the time to celebrate small wins, you can find joy in the journey itself. It could be something as simple as completing a task you've been putting off, mastering a new skill, or hitting a minor milestone toward your larger goal. These moments of celebration serve as reminders that success is not a distant destination, but a series of steps that bring fulfillment in the present moment. Celebrating small wins also plays a key role in building resilience. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, and it's easy to become disheartened when things don't go as planned. However, by focusing on your small victories, you create a buffer against negativity. Even in the face of failure or obstacles, recognizing the small wins helps you stay positive and optimistic. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, you shift your focus to what you've accomplished. This resilience allows you to bounce back from setbacks more easily and continue moving forward with confidence. One of the greatest benefits of celebrating small wins is that it reinforces the idea of progress over perfection. Many people avoid celebrating their achievements because they feel they haven't reached the perfect version of success. They think that until they've completed the entire project, reached the final goal, or become the ideal version of themselves, they shouldn't celebrate. But the truth is that perfection is often an unrealistic standard. There will always be room for improvement, and no achievement is ever perfect. Instead of waiting for perfection, celebrating small wins helps you acknowledge the progress you've made, even if it's not perfect. This mindset encourages you to appreciate the small, incremental improvements that lead to overall growth. In addition to benefiting yourself, celebrating small wins can also improve your relationships with others. When you take the time to recognize and celebrate your accomplishments, you create an environment of positivity and support. People around you, whether they are family, friends, or colleagues, are more likely to support you and share in your excitement when they see you acknowledging and appreciating your progress. Celebrating small wins together also fosters a sense of community and connection. It creates an atmosphere where people feel encouraged to share their successes and challenges, which strengthens relationships and builds a sense of mutual respect. It's important to note that celebrating small wins doesn't always have to be a grand event. In fact, it can be as simple as taking a moment to pause and acknowledge your progress. You don't need to wait for a huge victory to reward yourself. Sometimes a quiet moment of self-reflection or a small treat can be enough to recognize your hard work. The key is to make celebrating small wins a regular practice so that it becomes ingrained in your mindset. Whether you're crossing a task off your to-do list, completing a workout, or making progress on a long-term project, taking the time to celebrate each step along the way creates a habit of positivity and growth. Celebrating small wins also helps prevent burnout. When you're constantly pushing yourself to achieve the next big thing, it's easy to become overwhelmed and exhausted. Celebrating small victories allows you to pause and appreciate what you've already accomplished, which can provide a sense of relief and satisfaction. It gives you permission to slow down and take a breath before moving on to the next challenge. By giving yourself credit for the small wins, you maintain the energy and motivation needed to keep going without exhausting yourself in the process. Ultimately, celebrating small wins is not just about acknowledging your achievements. It's about developing a mindset of growth, gratitude, and resilience. By focusing on the progress you've made rather than the distance left to go, you create a positive feedback loop that propels you toward greater success. Every small win is a step forward, and every step forward brings you closer to the life and success you're working to create.